Hi, welcome to Steve Chats Wrestling, hashtag SCW, the wrestling channel, right here on youtube.com. Thank you for choosing the channel and choosing the video. Subscribe right now. I encourage that you do. I'm near that magic 70 subscribers. Would love that on Backlash weekend. Like and share the video as well, and I want your comments in the comments section because this is the preview and predictions video for WWE Backlash 2016. Now, it's crept up very quickly. It's only been 3 weeks since SummerSlam. Not a lot to build something together, but I think SmackDown have done the best job they can in most of the matches to try and make something happen here. Of course, perhaps not as heated rivalries as we would like, but certainly have put a show together. And maybe it may seem a bit of a way for Finn's show. There's only 6 matches been announced. No pre-show from what I'm aware, and there's quite a lot of names missing as well. One big notable one, John Cena, who was the number 3 SmackDown draft pick, is not on the show. Of course, he's not expected to be on WWE TV for the remainder of the year now, even though he's doing some of the live events. He will not be televised on this particular event or any SmackDown event going forward for the meantime. As well as that, some 2 other perhaps big notable references, Apollo Crews and Baron Corbin, expect to be 2 of the breakout stars for the SmackDown brand. It wouldn't surprise me if there are some late matches added to this card, whether it be in the pre-show form or even on the show itself. Maybe even against each other we could get Apollo Crews and Baron Corbin. But if we do get additional matches, I will actually give them to you on a separate video and also give my predictions at the time of giving that during the video as well. So don't worry, you will be kept up to date with all Backlash latest and breaking news over Backlash weekend. Other names that will be missing from the show would be Kane, Breezango, perhaps the Vaudevillains in the Century, but I mean, you wouldn't expect them to be on the event anyway. But yeah, we'll go into the show, we'll go into the card, and I'll give you my predictions as we go through. We're going to start with a 6-pack challenge to determine the brand new SmackDown Women's Champion. Now, we've got on one side, we'll go through the faces and the heels. The faces first, Becky Lynch, Nikki Bella and Naomi. We've got the heels in the match of Carmella, Alexa Bliss and Natalya. Now, of course, Eva Marie is not going to be involved with this, but I'm imagining she will eventually be in the title picture when she comes back after the suspension. I don't see WWE letting off her push anytime soon. Despite the hair colour change either, she won't be all red everything anymore, but she's got dark hair again. But anyway, to the matter in hand, this is going to fill some time up. I think it's going to get some good time on this show because it's an elimination match, but I think that's a good thing for the show because a lot of women will be given the exposure and time to show what they've got. But I have the fear that there could be some overexposure as well, because this now will give us the idea of a ranking order. Who is going to be seen as the strongest and who's going to be seen as the weakest in the division, because you don't see here how everyone's going to seem equal coming out of the match, which they've done a pretty good job going into the event. But we'll go to where I think the result is going to happen. I think Nikki Bella is going to walk away with the championship. Now, I do believe this is a new era and a fresh start, and it would be nice to have someone new hold the belt. But with in any case, it is more exciting to see someone chasing the belt than someone holding the belt. So someone like Becky Lynch, I rule her out. She's not going to hold the belt just yet. It'll be more exciting for a viewer to see her chase and get the belt and perhaps get the dream. And it's another one of these unfortunate underdog stories. It's a bit too early for Carmella and Alexa Bliss, in my opinion. Natalya could be perhaps the second likely person to walk away with this belt, as she's not had a long women's championship run before. Although she has been a women's champion, she would actually get a fair crack here if she was to become the SmackDown Women's Champion. And also, last but certainly not least, Naomi. For me, she's going to be the jobber in this situation. She's certainly going to possibly be the first one eliminated. So that's my go for the women's match for the first ever SmackDown Women's Championship. We'll go to the Tag Team Championship, which I think is being handled quite tastefully, actually. American Alpha not going to be on this event, pulled after the Chad Gable injury, after the Usos heel turn. Thought it was done very, very well. I actually originally thought that it would be American Alpha versus the Usos in the final. We'd get the Usos heel turn that way for them to win the belts, and then American Alpha to chase afterwards. I think this has been done more cleverly, personally, from my personal point of view. I was originally disappointed when seeing the semis, but I liked the way the match was done. It was over quickly. We see then heel turn take place, so this now seems like a null void match, as if we haven't seen it before, because when we see it again, it'll be fresh. It'll be a face team versus a heel team, and this now leads then to a first match, which we're going to see of the Usos versus the Hype Bros, to then get to the final to take on Heath Slater and Rhino. Now, for me, looking at that first match at the Usos, then it makes sense for them to win that match to get to the final. And secondly, this is where then we get more than one storyline going into this tag team division, which is why I've been actually a fan of this tag team tournament. It's worked because they've used more than one storyline going through. It's not just a tournament. They've had things where you're interested in what's going on into most of the matches. And in this case, Heath Slater, he only gets a contract with SmackDown Live if he actually wins the tournament, becomes a tag team champion. Now, what other way to get better heel heat for the start for the Usos than to win that match as well and actually then walk away with the SmackDown Tag Team Championships. Furthermore, going forward then, they have already 2 people they can go against. Will Heath Slater get another chance? Possibly, possibly not. Seems to be the way that this angle seems to be going forward, because the more Heath Slater doesn't get a contract, the more we want to see him. So this makes perfect sense going forward, as well as that American Alpha come back, and then they can chase after the championships, potentially winning them at Survivor Series. But that's just a little hunch I've got throwing out there for you right now. But for me, particularly a fan of how that works out. Next, we'll look at the Intercontinental Championship. So a lot of championships on the line in this particular event as well. We've got The Miz against Dolph Ziggler. The Miz has done very well with his promo work recently. His character work has been fantastic, particularly in recent times. That Talking Smack with Daniel Bryan, really, really good. Put himself over really, really strong. It says that he does what he does when he needs to do it. When he needs to do it on this particular event, he doesn't walk away from things when the actual event comes, and he'll find a way to retain the belt against a Dolph Ziggler character who right now is evolving, and we're getting a good thing out of Dolph right now. Him losing will be a good thing on this event, personally for me, because we want to see Dolph Ziggler now crack. This is what we're going to see, maybe towards a heel turn maybe. Dolph Ziggler says that he needs to reevaluate some things if he doesn't win. When he was on commentary on SmackDown this week, that pretty much teases that the heel turn is in place, and certainly they'll be more interested with him going forward as a heel and see where we can get to from there. And personally for me, I'm really surprised in 2016, particularly after such bad booking we've seen with Dolph Ziggler and The Miz over recent times, that actually I'm turning around and saying that actually I'm quite compelled to see how this one is going to turn out. I don't think it's going to be a match of the night, but I do think that from character's perspective and storyline perspective, this potentially could be going places for both stars. So that's just my personal opinion. Next, we look to Randy Orton versus Bray Wyatt. Now, this is one of the more disappointing ones. For me, it would have been nice if Randy Orton remembered that actually Bray Wyatt was the person that put him out over a year ago, which was why he was missing until SummerSlam against Brock Lesnar. Still, WWE have gone with a very simple kind of route with this, and we've kind of had a story time with Randy Orton and Bray Wyatt. Personally, for me, not the best build-up, but perhaps maybe the first of a couple of matches between these two. For me, it would make sense for Bray Wyatt to pick up the victory here, but at the same time, I guess with Randy Orton perhaps going to face Brock Lesnar, which the rematch is on for September 24th at a WWE live event the night before Clash of Champions. It seems to me that maybe Randy Orton will pick up the victory in this particular match. Maybe, though, in the end of it, Bray Wyatt will pick up the victory in the feud, but I'm expecting Randy Orton potentially to pick up the victory this weekend, mainly due to the fact as well, because Bray Wyatt does all these targets and promos and stuff and never comes out on top, and I'd love to see a difference in the Bray Wyatt booking. I'm going to turn around and say, I want to be proved wrong on this. I want Bray Wyatt to win, but I'll put my money on Randy Orton for this particular match. Last but certainly not least is another one that could go either way here. It's the WWE World Championship, Dean Ambrose versus AJ Styles. Now, for me, really, this has pretty much been based around balls, this particular feud. Pardon that, but AJ Styles on the ring ropes, particularly was quite entertaining, to be brutally honest, when we were watching that over. This week, a kick in the crotch, the reverse way done. Normally, the person that's on the upside that goes into a pay-per-view normally is the one that's losing. Which means then if AJ Styles had the upper hand on last week's SmackDown, would mean that Dean Ambrose will walk away with the victory here. Personally, for me, I think it's right though to change the belt. It's the right time. For me, Dean Ambrose is getting stale, so I'm perhaps maybe predicting more with my heart rather than my head here. But I'm going to go for an AJ Styles victory. I think then we could get a rematch for this down the line. Maybe we can have a back and forth going towards for the next couple of months. And it's certainly, if Dean Ambrose wins this on match 1, this is case closed, it's finished. So for me, I would like to see something happen, and a clean sort of victory on a pay-per-view as well. None of this sort of false finish DQ rubbish to then lead to a no DQ match at the next pay-per-view, which potentially could happen. But I'm going to go with my heart over my head. AJ Styles is going to be the WWE World Champion. And who would have thought that him coming in a short 10 months later, that he would actually be the WWE World Champion. I mean, that would have been unheard of from anyone. No one would have predicted that long ago. But right now, it would help continue his momentum over John Cena as well. So I'm massively in favour of that happening. So I'm going to go for an AJ Styles victory. But that's my opinion then for WWE Backlash 2016. Let me know your feelings in the comments below. Hope you enjoyed this video. Like and share it if you did. And yeah, if there's any breaking news, then I'll keep you up to date right here on this channel over the weekend. If there's any matches added, maybe there will be some story time with Shane McMahon and Daniel Bryan. The GMs like to be involved in SmackDown for some reason, so maybe they might have a little bit of time on the mic in the ring as well. Just to fill out a little bit of time in between the matches. We'll have to see what transpires. Don't forget as well, I'll be keeping up to date with CM Punk, how he gets on at UFC 203, which is tomorrow evening. So yeah, I'll be perhaps watching that, giving that a little review as well. So you've been watching Steve Chats Wrestling right here on YouTube.com. Hashtag SCW the Wrestling Channel as well. Do subscribe, I recommend that you do. And thank you for watching this. This has been WWE's Backlash 2016 preview and predictions.